Hi, welcome to Best Movie Recaps. Today, I'm going to explain Squid Game series. Seong is introduced as the main character as the story begins. His son's birthday had arrived. Seong's mother gives him money in exchange for taking his son out to dinner. Seong requires additional funds. He fraudulently obtains his mother's ATM card. Then he steals his mother's entire fortune. He bets the money on horse racing and wins for $1 million. Seong has now obtained a loan from a company. This is why these people are after him. They kidnap and brutally beat Seong. When Seong goes through his pockets to return the money, he discovers that he has none. It refers to his horseback riding winnings. Then he remembers running into a girl as he ran away from them. This girl has clearly ripped his pocket. Seong has been given a 1-month sentence because he is poor. He must return their money at this time. Seong then gathers his funds again and takes his son out to dinner. Seong rushes to the station after that. Unfortunately, his train was delayed. While Seong was sitting and waiting for the train, a man approached him. Seong has no knowledge of him because he is unknown to him. "I'd like to play a game with you," says the unknown person to Seong. He tells Seong that if he wins this game, he will give him 1 million won. Seong agrees to play the game after hearing about the large sum of money. Seong wins the game despite being heavily beaten. It means he will receive 1 million won. The unknown person hands Seong a card and tells him to call the number if he wants to make more money. When Seong returns home, her mother informs her that her daughter will be moving to the United States with her stepfather next year. Seong divorced and his wife married, as revealed here. Seong never wants his daughter to leave him, but he needs a large sum of money in order to gain custody of his daughter, so he dials the credit card number. Seong was placed in a vehicle with other people. They all pass out, and when they come to, they find themselves in a facility with 456 other people. They were there to play because they wore uniforms. This facility's host was a man who also served as the facility's frontman. He kept a close eye on them. There was one thing in common: the people who were brought had taken on a lot of debt. Seong encounters player number 1. He was a senior citizen. He was brought here because he had a brain tumor and his life was about to end. There is a fight between two players, one girl named Sae Byok and one boy named Jang. The girl who stole Seog's money was Sae Byok. She tore open his pocket. After seeing her, Seong recognizes her. He approaches her to inquire about his finances. Meanwhile, some guards wearing pink uniforms arrive. Their faces were hidden behind masks. The guards inform those players that they must play a total of 6 games here. The winner of this game will walk away with a large sum of money. Their signatures were taken down on a contract. The first rule of this contract states that no player may leave the game on his or her own. The second rule states that any player who is unable to participate will be kicked out of the game. What does the phrase eliminate mean to them? We'll learn more later. The third rule stated that if the majority of the players are unwilling to participate in the game, they may leave. They were then taken to play the game. Seong runs into his classmate Sang-woo, whom he has known since childhood. Seong is surprised to see him because he has been out of the country on business. For the first game, there was a massive doll. The rules of this game were extremely simple. It was that whenever doll sang, they had to move forward, and when she stopped singing, they had to stop. You are not required to move. He will be eliminated if someone moves. At first, everything appeared to be a joke. However, if a boy moves after being shot, he is finished. It was the definition of removing. They all panic when they see it because it means they'll be finished soon. They realize they are in danger. They wander because they are terrified and panicked. Because of the game's rules, the player who is moving will be eliminated. The survivors managed to finish the game. After the dead bodies were removed, there were only 255 players left out of a total of 456. All of the players were terrified, and now no one wants to play the game. As stated in rule number 3, the majority can opt out of the game. Before they are shown the prize money, the frontman conducts the voting process. The winner will receive the prize money. However, if they leave the game, this money will be given to the family of the deceased player. The total prize money was 45 billion won. The majority of those who voted did not want to play the game. That's why the game came to a halt. If they want, they can return to the game later. They were all taken to their homes. Seong goes to the police station the next day and tells them everything, but they didn't have faith in Seong. They believe he is insane. Seong shows them the card, but the number on it is incorrect. Seong returns home, but his mother is nowhere to be found. Sang-woo, Seong's classmate, was secretly seeing his mother. Meanwhile, Seong shows up. Sang-woo informs Seong that he is in debt to the tune of $6 billion. He informs me that I have invested client funds in the stock margin. Regrettably, the entire sum was squandered. Seong receives a call from the hospital. Seong's mother's foot has been injured. As a result of her failure to treat her diabetes, her wound grew larger. The doctor informs Seong that your mother can be treated, but that we must first remove her foot. This operation is very expensive. Seong obviously has no money, even though he has exhausted his mother's insurance money. Seong goes to his wife for money. His wife will not give him money. His wife informs him that Seong has come to ask for money. Stay away from my family, her husband says as he comes to give Seong money. Seong begins beating him and his daughter arrives. Following that, Seong's friend approaches his boss and requests the money. When his boss refuses to give him money, a fight breaks out between them. During the fight, his boss's hand is injured in a machine and Seong's friend flees while taking money. When Seong's friend returns home, he tells his wife to take the first flight out. Se-byok meets an agent while relocating her mother from the north to the south. Se-byok is the young lady who stole Seong's money. Se-byok requires funds in order to bring her mother here. Se-byok has an older brother to whom she has promised to bring her mother. When an officer discovers that his brother is missing, he goes to his brother's house. He discovers that his brother has not visited him in the last few days. While searching the house, the officer discovers a card. The officer had previously seen the same card with Seong at the police station. The officer approaches Seong and inquires, but Seong refuses to respond. When Seong returns home, he discovers the same card. Seong decides to rejoin the game once more. That's why all of the players were led to a ship. While chasing the cars, the officer also arrives. He dispatches the guard and tosses him into the water. The players were taken to an island facility. They have no idea what the next game will be or how it will be played. They formed their own groups. Se-byok and her female friend go to the restroom at night to avoid guards. Se-byok investigates the facility. She notices that the guards are preparing something in large pots. Guards suspect, and a guard arrives to inspect the restrooms. Se-byok has already returned. Se-byok tells her female friend everything she sees. But Sang-woo can hear them. When he questions Se-byok about it, she explains that they were cooking something in large pots. The players were then all led to the playground. They were given 4 shapes to choose from. Sang-woo learns about the game and what they need to do. Sang-woo informs Seong that they must all select different shapes. Following that, they were given a small pot and instructed to make shapes in it. Their goal is to extract the shape in some way. They will be eliminated without any damage if the shape is D-shaped. It means they'll be finished soon. Sang-woo easily removes the shape. Seong's condition worsens as he panics. But then he manages to win this game. They were returned to their rooms. After 187 players were returned, only 108 remained. Following that, they were taken to eat. Jang fights a boy over food, beats the boy, and finishes the boy on the spot. There is a doctor shown among the players. It sells the organs of the dead people to the Chinese with the help of the guards. That's why whenever dead bodies were taken they disappear them. This all was happening according to a plan. This was happening secretly from the frontman. This is the reason they make their own man sit in the control room. He used to delete all the video footage of them. The guard's already aware the doctor about the game, so that he will survive. A guard informs the doctor that the players have received less food today. As a result, they will fight together. As a result, all of the weak players will be eliminated from the game. The guard uses it to inform the doctor about their next game. After 30 minutes, the lights were about to go out. Seong is well aware that Seong's team will commit a blunder. He summons the team and instructs them to remain calm. Jang's team benefits from the presence of a doctor. The doctor informs Jang about the next game here. After that, the lights go out, and Jang and his team defeat everyone. Jang moves on to Sae Byok after finishing a girl. But Seong comes to her rescue. The guards arrived and forbade them, leaving only 80 people. They were later taken for the third game. They were instructed to form a team of 10 players. They do the same and form a team. Jang is aware of the impending game, however, he did not include Sae female Byok's friend in his team. He assembles his team entirely of men. Seong is also on his team because they require a player. So Sae female Byok's friend includes them. Tug of War was the name of this game. It means they must fall the team in front of them, the game begins, and Jang's team easily wins. It was now Sang Turnwoo's teams to run. The old man, player number 1, claims that I have participated in numerous tug-of-wars throughout my life. That is why he instructs them on how to win the game. They have somehow won the game, and the lights are shown to be turned off after 30 minutes. Seong requests that they be prepared. They decide to guard one by one. Jang was afraid that his team would cut him off, because they had wise players. The organs of dead bodies were now being removed by the doctor and guards. Guards 28 and 29 will be dispatched to deliver these organs. They refer to the dead body as a zombie because he only has one kidney. Guard number 29 was the officer in charge of delivering the organs. He arrives disguised as a guard and suspects they're talking about my brother, because he has only one kidney. The organs are then delivered by numbers 28 and 29. The officer notices the bomb in the tunnel while on his way. The number 28 tells him that when we leave, this place will be blown up. The officer attempts to elicit additional information from number 28. Number 28 suspects him and requests that the officer show his face. The officer points his gun at the number 29 while revealing his face. The officer inquires about the man with one kidney. Who's the person you refer to as a zombie? Number 28 confirms that she is a girl and that he can take all of the information while going to the leader's room. Everyone's data is available. After learning this, the officer completes the number 28. On the other hand, the doctor inquires about the next game with the guard. However, the guards are also unaware of the next game. The doctor becomes enraged. He fights while holding a guard, and after finishing the guard, the doctor flees. A guard also pursues him and leads him to a playground. While trapping the doctor, the guard was about to kill him. Later, the leader arrives and kills him as well as the doctor. On the way, he discovers the body of number 28. He is aware that someone is present in the facility. The officer enters the leader's chamber. While checking, he comes across a room containing everyone's records. The officer investigates and discovers the winner's record. The presence of his brother's name indicates that he was the winner, and the players were selected for the fourth game. They were asked to select a partner. The players follow suit and select their partners. Sae female Byok's friend also looks for her partner. None of them were prepared to be her partner. After that, each player received 10 marbles. The object of the game is for the player to take all of his partner's marbles, without pressuring him. The person with no marbles will lose. The even and odd game is played by Sangwoo and Seong's friend. They must guess how many marbles are in the front person's hand. Sang marbles woos are won by Seong's friend. As a result, Sangwoo is down to his last marble in the final round. Sangwoo is aware that his life is coming to an end. He dupes Seong's friend into believing that if anyone loses in S, their match will be rescheduled. While cheating, Sangwoo alters Seong's friend's marbles. Sangwoo takes the marbles and hands them over to the guard. From there, he departs. Seong's friend inspects the marbles, but there are stones among them. Player number 1 was in worse shape. That's why he was dashing around. Seong prepares him for the game, and they also play the even and odd game. The old man wins all of Seong's marbles. But in the final round, the old man forgets what he chose. Seong steals his marbles while encircling him. The old man, on the other hand, was astute. He kept a marble. He wanders again, and Seong invites him to play another game with him. "I know you took all my marbles while cheating," says the old man, that he claims I knew everything but was acting foolishly. Senik took pity on him and gave him all the marbles after hearing it. Sae Byok and her female friend were also having fun with their games. Their game is that whoever throws the most marbles near the wall wins. Sae Byok initially throws her marbles. When it was Sae's turn, she threw all of her marbles. When Sae Byok notices it, she asks her friend to throw it again. "No, Sae Byok," says her friend, "I'm alone, and there's no one behind me. However, if something bad happens to you, it will not be good. Sae friend Byok's was finished, and your elder brother was waiting for you." Their bodies were removed from the location. They go back to their rooms. Jang discovers that Sae friend Byok's is still alive. She was sitting quietly. Sae friend Byok's was also Jang's friend, as shown here. They were at odds for a reason. Jang's friend is a bully. Later, the frontman discovers the officer's identification card near a dead body. Then frontman receives word that his VIPs have arrived. The frontman advances to greet them. All VIPs were taken to their rooms, and frontman later informs another man about the VIP's arrival. He was the main character, and we will learn more about him later. They were all brought back the next day for the 5th game. There were digits from 1 to 16, and the players will take their numbers, which means their turn will be determined by their number. In the end, the first and last numbers are left. It means 1 and 16, and Seong is perplexed as to which number he should select. He will be stuck if he chooses the first option because he is unfamiliar with the game. If he selects the last number, he may not have his turn. In the meantime, due to a lack of time, a man arrives and informs Seong that he wishes to be assigned the first number. "Because I've never been on number 1 in my life." They were led to a gaming area. The rule of the game is that they must cross the bridge in the allotted time. Between the bridge, there were 2 glasses. One was regular glass, while the other was tempered glass. When they step on ordinary glass, they will fall to the ground. They are then eliminated one by one as the game begins. Jang stood in front of everyone and didn't move. They only have 2 options, move forward or die here. Jang's friend comes in front who is bullying him. She says, "I told you when you deceived me that I will finish you." They were both finished because she held Jang and jumped. There was once a man who worked in a glass factory. He recognized the tempered glass. When the frontman becomes aware of the situation, he turns off the lights. As a result, they will not recognize the glass. Because they don't have time for the final step, Sangwoo pushes the man. Sangwoo, Seong, and Sae Byok have passed through the portal. However, they were injured as a result of the shattered glass. Sae Byok was also injured. The officer, on the other hand, has taken the place of a servant after finishing him. The officer is suspected by a VIP. He requests that he remove the mask. "Okay," the officer says, "but I'll take off my mask before going inside." The officer then walks inside with the VIP. Moving inside, the officer causes the VIP to faint, and the frontman is aware of this. When the frontman sees the officer, he pursues him. The officer flees and arrives on an island. The frontman arrives as well, chasing him. The officer attempts to contact his superiors. However, the call is dropped. The officer sends him all of the evidence, but there is no network. The frontman kidnaps the officer and asks him to accompany him. However, the officer shoots at the frontman. When the frontman removes his mask, the officer recognizes him as this brother. Officer's brother indicates that the frontman shoots him. He slips and falls into the water. Because of the glass, Sae Byok was injured. She was in pain. The survivors were then led to the dinner. A knife was also placed near them, implying that someone among them will murder someone at night. Seong notices that Sae Byok's condition has deteriorated. He assures Sae Byok that they are working together to defeat Sangwoo, after which they will depart and divide the money. Sae Byok informs him that I have an older brother whom I have abandoned in an orphanage. If one of us leaves, he or she is responsible for both families. Sae Byok's has worsened, and she requires medical attention. Seong goes to seek assistance, but when he returns, Sangwoo has completed Sae Byok. The following day, they were taken for the final game, the rule of which was simple: die to be dead. Squid Game was the name given to this game. The game begins, and there is a massive fight between them. Sang Woo's deteriorates in the final scene. Seong expresses his desire to end the game. Seong invites Sangwoo to accompany him. Sangwoo completes himself, and as a result, Seong wins the game. The frontman says to Seong, "You have played well, but I wasn't expecting this." Seong was then dropped off at his home. When he checks his ATM card, he discovers that all of his money has been transferred. Seong moves into his new home, but his mother dies before he gets there. A year later, the scene is shown again. Seong's condition was the worst, and he was addicted to drugs. He hadn't used the money yet when a lady selling flowers approached Seong and handed him the same card with an address written on it. Seong went to the address. There he discovers that the old man, player number 1, has done it all. He's still alive, and the old man expresses his dissatisfaction with his life to Seong. "I created these games with my clients in order to have fun while watching people die. However, we did not compel anyone to do so. I participated in the game because playing is more fun than watching." He says, "The money you have is mine," and the old man dies as a result. Following that, Seong visits Sae Byok's brother. He leaves him with Sang Mother Woo's and asks her to look after this child. He also leaves her with a bag full of money. Seong moves to the station, and the same unknown person whom he met at the start of the movie meets him. Seong pursues him, but he escapes. Then Seong requests the card number. "Who are you, and why are you doing this to people?" he asks. "Why are you meddling in the lives of others?" But the response was, "Seong, if you want to live, get on the plane." This concludes the video. Thank you for watching.